I got the black Acura, sure.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Gotta move it.
can I have everybody's attention?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, as you know, something running upstairs?
That's us.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the test is already being made upstairs. Very good. I'd like to introduce Andrew McCarter and Dave Olson. They're the two Lionel engineers that are putting together this Base3 beta test with us included. We're the second one. The first one was held in New Jersey, and what they did in New Jersey was to get some of the bugs out. Those bugs were taken out, and now they're here with us to see if those bugs were successful, bug removal, and to see if there's anything else. And we're going to be stressing some testing today also. Stressing the system of Base3. Dave, you want to say anything?
Yep.
Dave's the humorous one.
Me? Alright, thanks. First thing I want to say is just how much we appreciate you guys being open to having us out. It's a huge help for Lionel and making sure we get this new system correct. And a huge thank you to Herb for everything he's done so far for this, and John as well for all the technical support. And Mike also, I don't know if he's here yet, but Mike was also helped yesterday.
Yeah, that was Michael Fradin.
Yeah. So, what we did yesterday was test with the signal integrity and signal range with the CAB2 remotes. So one of the issues that we found in New Jersey was the internal antenna we created for the Base3 to communicate with CAB2 was insufficient for range. So as you can see, the Base3 there that we'll be running today has an external antenna on the back of it now. And so what we did yesterday is we tested various antennas and found one that we like. Today we'll just be using that big one, which is kind of overkill, but why not? So that works now. And what we want to do today is have everybody that has come out and going to run a train. It's going to have their own separate layout or loop track and a CAB2. And what we want to do is load the system up with different clients. And what a client is a CAB2 remote or CAB1L or the CAB3 app. And so we designed the system for a minimum of 10 clients to be able to operate trains simultaneously. And we want to make sure we get the 10 clients running and see if we have any issues. Like, do I blow the horn, but the horn doesn't actually blow for 2 seconds, right? That's an issue. So if you guys, when you're running your trains and you experience any issues, just flag Andrew down, because he's my personal assistant. Make him do everything. It's nice to be the boss. And that'll tell us if we're having any issues. Number two, what we want to test are various generations of TMCC and legacy locomotives. So you think, okay, well, the system runs TMCC or legacy. It's not quite that simple because you guys know TMCC goes back to the early 90s. So you have R2LCs, R4LCs, RCMC, the new ones have LCP. So there's many different generations of the TMCC radio in the locomotives you guys all have. And we just want to make sure that the Base3 is tuned to run all of those. So if you have an older locomotive and you notice, why is it not running right with the Base3? That's another thing where let us know. And that's something we can notate and look at.
You know, one thing you mentioned yesterday, Lionel leaves no engine behind.
Yeah, that is one of our sayings, which is great for the marketing team, but it kills the engineering team. So we have to run all the old stuff, and I mean, it makes sense, right? I bought a locomotive in 1998. I want it to still run with the new stuff. So
well, with the public school system, you just pass them on anyway. So.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so those are kind of what we want to test today. Just make sure that the one base can handle, running as many engines as we can on this layout today, and we'll also be running both a couple of Lion Chief engines on the little layout upstairs off the Base3, and we already have those running too. So that's already 2 clients there, and then Herb, John, how many independent loops or clients are we going to be able to do at once?
We can run 7.
7. Okay.
7 completely independent tracks. We can run more than one on a track if we need to.
Okay. Yeah, if we can get up to the 10, that would be great. We already
Won't
have 2.
be a problem.
So.
Did you include the logging line?
Did not include the logging line or the coal line because those don't run in continuous loops.
Yeah.
You could have somebody run back and forth or something.
You know,
too, so.
yeah.
So,
you have
just so you know,
paying attention.
the coal line is very short, but the logging line has a good stretch.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so from here we're already set up for upstairs, so what we want to do is just do one at a time. Have one person start, make sure they're programmed and get running, and then we'll do the next and next till we're full up.
Now, can you see the board here?
No, but I can come over after we're done talking.
We can swing it out.
Yeah.
So you can use that to assign someone to a track.
Okay.
And John will help you which track it is.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Was not getting.
Alright. So I think we're ready to go.
It'll probably be this.
There's Mike.
Hey. It's going to be the standard.
Does anybody have any questions?
Hey,
You know,
Michael, long time no
one
see.
question that I've heard a lot is, what is the price of this going to be? What is the cost going to be? Well, in the catalog, it's $4.99. So that's going to be list price, and hopefully we'll be able to find it cheaper at one of the friendly stores of Lionel, or that sell Lionel product.
Yep.
Herb, I got a question. Dave mentioned that this new antenna that you guys are now set on.
Yep.
That increases the donut as far as the radius.
Correct.
Is this antenna available? Because does it fit on a regular Legacy?
It will be the same connection. We still have to actually source the antenna
You
itself.
have to source it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I have an issue in my basement. So.
Gotcha.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Tom?
You mentioned the different generations, if you will, of TMCC. You know what those are, right? Because I don't. I don't know which.
Yeah, as long as I know what
particular
engine it is, I can look it up. And that includes, Trade America Studio engines, or Third Rail or Atlas engines, whatever TMCC generation. I just need to know what the engine is, and then we can look up what it was.
So I didn't bring it today, but I have Atlas and I have Weaver TMCC. I don't know if anyone has that, but are you testing that here today? Does anyone have any?
We got
John brought a few.
Yeah,
Okay, great,
John Billone brought a K-line, an Atlas, and an MTH that he converted.
great.
Yes, sir.
Only like stuff after the Class A will be able to use 4-digit addressing, correct?
So at the moment, and we'll test that too today, but at the moment we have the Class A, the Early Challenger, and now the Vision Big Boy.
Okay.
That will have the 4-digit. One of the tests we ran yesterday, and we have that engine over there, but it is a prototype to put 4-digit engine addressing in every Legacy locomotive going forward. So that's our goal for next year, is to get 4-digit into every engine and not just Vision.
Well, that's what I figured you would do, but the only reason I'm asking this is because I was talking to somebody at Lionel about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, because I sent a locomotive back for service.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to her, I asked her, about the Base 3, and she said that every engine will be 4-digit. I said, I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that would be great if it was, but I'm thinking, because again, then I would have I'd have room for 10,000 engines. But she told, I said, are you sure about that? She goes, yes, I'm sure. I'm like, okay, I don't think so, but we'll find out.
Is the secret out?
Every engine will be in the future, but in terms
I figured
of
that's what you would do.
2024 and beyond,
Yeah.
it's
I
not going to be.
I was thinking that everything
Yeah.
in the 2023 catalog might be 4-digit addressable. I wasn't sure.
So
Yeah.
they aren't going to be able to make engines retroactive for.
Correct.
Yeah.
If it's 2-digit now, it'll stay 2-digit.
Correct.
So anything bought previous to last year, you're stuck at below 99.
Okay,
Yes.
one more question, anywhere?
When's the availability of the Base 3?
The big plan is to get it shipped this year, so it's likely December.
Okay.
Okay, let's get the program started. Andy, you said you wanted to schedule engines?
Nothing in general. I just wanted to know when they start. So whichever ones are on there, what time they start, so we know which engines were on at what time. or later.
So if you want to just pick who goes first,
Yeah.
what loop?
Well, Ken Yeager,
Yes, sir.
you're first on the list. Start with the legacy. You got the 599.
Yes, sir. What track do we want to put it on?
John?
John's on
I want you to tell them what track to put it on. So Ken, go to John. Well, there are many engines running. Dave and Andy are checking out to see how stressed the system is. A lot of interaction with our members and the Lionel team. Dave Olson right there. Andy over there. Dave Olson and Andrew McCarter are helping Bill Trescas set up his engine. Trains are running all over the layout. Belt line and the big layout. Members are quite interested in what they're doing. Charlie, do you,
that already.
you want to ask Dave a question? Hey, ask him a question. Ask a question.
Yeah. Oh, ask him a question.
Yeah. What? Well, you can hug him later
wait a
on.
minute. I think the question I did ask, can you latch up, you remember this one, Lion Chief plus 2.0 Bluetooth Legacy, and a TMCC together.
Yeah, those can all be lashed up in, but it has to be set to TMCC.
No, that I understand.
Lowest denomination.
Right, 100 steps.
Yep.
See, you know.
Is it 100 or 32?
32.
Yeah, well, yeah, 32.
Eh,
See, 6 of one, half dozen.
Yeah.
A question for Dave.
Yes, sir.
You got any idea why it does that?
Because it don't like
Oh,
you
I know.
no more.
You know what that is?
What did it do?
No.
Blank screen. This is the display bright system. So we get up to 15 at once.
Yeah.
That's 15 at once, all blowing the whistle at the same time.
Okay.
And then over that, that's when you see latency issues.
Okay, so we should.
Right?
You want to
So
try that again?
theoretically, you could have like 20 guys out here running locos, and if they're not all blowing the whistle at the same time, you'd be all right.
Yeah.
So it's only with the whistle? And, I mean,
No,
It's
when there's
constant
activity.
commands.
constant command.
Yeah,
so,
if
okay,
you're if
okay.
everybody's changing the throttle at the same time.
Okay, okay.
But that would be a good thing. I'd like to see our guys do that.
What, you want to crap out my base?
Oh yeah, we do.
Gotcha.
Well, I think you want to see how strong the base is.
Yeah, I do.
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
That's a good test.
We were just talking about that.
But it needs to be, they need to be in legacy mode. The TMCCs will probably not drop during that test. The legacies might because the code is different. So.
But it's worth testing. Now, John says, we got 10 running. It should be just fine. But it's worth testing in the real world.
Where's attention?
Well, I mean, do we need to do it right now? I say.
Oh, I thought you said you wanted to.
Oh, I'm saying in general. Like at
Yeah.
some point today, we should do that.
Fellow engineers, is everybody here? Everybody hear me? Fellow engineers?
I'm going to use my laptop.
Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a stress test. And Nick, this is for you. Everybody blow their horns for 15 seconds. Starting now. Blow your horn. And tell them if they want to continue. So the horn test is working well. Again, we're trying to see if the horns drop out, saturating the system. Keep the horns going. Keep the horns going.
Volume all the way up. Just make sure you drop out if you don't mind.
can you move that engine? Did you lose your con?
I must have lost control. That's mine.
That's yours.
Everybody has to be doing the horn at the same time because that horn activation saturates the system all at the same time.
Have them stop for a second.
Okay, if everybody could stop. Michael, one thing we found out is that a lot of our cab 2s were not updated to 1.72.
Right.
And you brought your chip so that you could upgrade them to 172. We found out that our cab 2s were not updated to Base 3 standards, which needs a 1.71 or 1.72 upgrade.
Just say 1.72.
So what we did is we have a 1.72 chip, and Michael Fradin ended up upgrading all the cab 2s that were not up to 172. So now we can continue on with the test. Okay, engineers, we're going to continue the test. Park your engines separated from other engines. And once we park the engines, we're going to go to the static horn test again.
Hey, make sure their engine's somewhere accessible.
Oh, and make sure your engine is accessible. Okay. John Billone, if you could go upstairs, Dave would like your help. Sure. Is everybody ready for the horn? Dave, do we still need to wait for a moment? Okay. We're using the upstairs layout also. And that lost power, so we gotta get that to start up again. We knew today was gonna be hurry up and wait. And we're succeeding, fulfilling that mission. I hear some activity on top. You guys ready? Okay, engineers, blow your whistles. So I see Andy is making his rounds. If any of the whistles stop, that's something that you're concerned about. Hey, we got a haunted crowd going today. Keep those horns going. Andy, how are we doing? So Andy's making his rounds. Okay, everybody, stop the whistle. Stop the horns. To give everybody an update, what Andy's going to do now is reposition the base unit to Base 3 from the table setting position to our post position. Now, there's been a lot of reporting about your engines flickering when everybody had their horns on, and that is taxing the system. Now, it turns out that it still was registering positive, but it's right at the limit of the system. So we're kind of hitting the line right now. We're going to see what else we can do. The Base 3 was raised to a different position, and we'll see if that changes anything. So position your engines so you can reach them.
At least you've got flicker.
Engine is positioned
Well, you're the local, right?
Everybody can stop.
Someone else is fighting.
Everybody can stop the horn. So this HEC RF1, that shows all the different frequencies that are in the area.
Computer might have turned off. Yeah, it turned off.
Okay,
Andrew can show you when he comes back over.
very good. John Billone, are we all set? We're set? Okay, everybody, position your engines separate from each other. The next test, we know that the system saturates the base. Now we want to see how far it saturates. Now Dave, is this the one you're going to control?
No, this is going for Andrew.
Okay, Andrew. So what we're going to do is everybody's going to turn on their horns, and then Andrew's going to go around and ask you to turn yours off, one at a time. And he's going to wait to see when the lights stop flashing and get solid again. So did everybody understand that? Engineers, everybody, run your horn, turn your whistle on right now. Okay, make sure your lights are on, and if they're blinking, be aware of that. What we're going to try to do is see if we can stop the horns, the influence on the lights. Saturating the system. So do we have 5 or 6 horns going now? 6 horns. Okay, turn off the horns. Engineers, if I could have your attention. Why does it, what I'd like is for everybody to start their engines, and let's get the engines going around, and then we'll have another test where Lionel will take over the engine. For the test that Lionel's going to do, we just want one engine per track.
One engine per track.
So if whatever you were assigned before, stay with that. What this HEC RF1 thing is?
Yeah, it's a software-defined radio. I'm just using it to just generally listen to RF anything in the area. Right now I have it just sweeping across the 2.4 gigahertz bands.
Let's see what it looks like on the computer.
So the yellow, that's the sampling. So these are samples that are being taken. The red is just a maximum that it's recorded during its runtime since I'd started it a couple hours ago.
Okay. So we don't have too much interference.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anything under the samples. It's hard to tell here. You might be able to catch it across the video, but there are little sections of yellow across here, so you got something communicating, probably Bluetooth, if I had to guess. So you guys are operating on channel 8. That's going to be somewhere in here. I don't see it too often, but this doesn't sample extremely fast.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay, well, thank you for the explanation.
Yeah.
Engineers. Okay, what I want you to do is stop your trains where you're at or anywhere on the layout. Let's stop the trains, and what we're going to do is then put down the control units. Well, turn off the control units. You press the red button until your unit is off. Nick? Has everybody got their hand controls on off? That means you can't see anything in the screen. Is everybody off? Andrew, do you see everybody off?
Gotta make sure they're visible. Where you can see 'em.
Can everybody see them? No engine's supposed to be hidden. All engines are supposed to be visible. I want everybody to observe their engines. We're concerned that the flicker might reoccur, and we don't want that. If that happens, we want to tell Dave and Andrew. Is everybody ready? All the Cap 2s are turned off. Okay, we got thumbs up. Everybody's train is stopped. Every Cap 2 is off. Mr. Dave Olson, run those trains.
Thanks, Bob Marker.
Okay, now, everybody watch to see if your engine flickers. You can see from the base 3, all those lights flickering. That means a lot of signals are going into the base. And the signals are being driven by Dave Olson from his computer. Everything now is being done by Dave's input. Raise your hand if your light is flickering. Raise your hand. Okay, there's no more flickering.
There's no more signal.
Engineers, we're having some good results. What they tested right now, they found some shortcomings. And you can probably tell that Dave is on the phone. He's on the phone with Lionel. And they're reviewing some codes, some software information that they can make some tweaking to see if it can enhance the situation to make it a better signal going out to the rolling stock, the engines. Engineers, back to your stations. Dave, what do you want to do?
We're gonna start around the train and we're gonna do the workouts.
Okay, everybody. The system's been updated. Let's turn on the horns, Dave. Turn on your horns and whistles. And keep them on. We're noticing that only the orange part of the signal is going on. Okay, there's some green. But only the yellow is on. Before there was pink. Keep those horns and whistles blowing. Okay, back to quiet. Now, the lights, did anybody notice any flickering lights? Okay, so that was a good change. Now, Andrew, you said there were some horn dropouts? So what do you want, lights or horns? Lionel is running their engine to see how it goes through the tunnels. Still going strong. I think it was, but it's running again now, so. Okay, both these engines are Bluetooth engines. Lionel's running its 4-digit steam locomotive. This is a prototype. That's why it's not painted. Deep throaty sound. What's happening now?
It works fine. So his station sound diner does not work.
Okay.
So he's gonna have to send that back to Lionel. Your cars work great.
The pig car. Day is done. We did 2 good days of testing.
Yes, sir.
Beta Base 3. Done. So what did we do today, Dave?
Well, today we started out by connecting Bluetooth and RF Lion Chief engines to the Base 3 and running those on one of your smaller layouts, completely detached from the main layout. And
Oh, that was upstairs.
yeah, so it was able
A
to
Sordar
run,
layout.
Yep, able to run those even from a distance. And then after that, we had all the club members in and proceeded to load up all of your loops. And John, how many total loops did we have running?
7 loops and
The 2 upstairs.
at times 9 engines on those 7 loops, up to 9 engines on those 7 loops.
Yep, so we did run up to 11 total locomotives, I think, at once.
Yep.
Each with their own individual controller. And while we had a couple of glitches, we were able to make some changes on the fly and update the firmware in the Base 3 and fixed everything
Well, the glitches
virtually
we had-
real time. So.
Yeah, the glitches that we had is that the lights were blinking.
Well, the blinking lights are just to identify activity. So the lights blinking on the base, you mean when the lights were blinking on the locomotive?
Yeah, when it
Yep.
seemed, it seemed like that was saturating the system.
Yep,
And it wasn't supporting the engine's totality, just it missed the lights a little bit, but the horns were going, the
Yep.
whistles were going.
Yep, and that was a simple timing fix that we were able to fix very quickly and then retest, and everything was good to go.
And then, let's see, we stressed with engines running. We stressed with engines whistling and
Yep.
horns. Then we did some Bluetooth action.
Yeah, we did. Well, afterwards we did some Bluetooth testing of a Bluetooth Lion Chief Plus engine and a Bluetooth Lion Chief engine. We wanted to test signal strength going through tunnels or behind mountains, and some of our older Bluetooth 4.0 engines, as were expected, would have range issues, but our newer Bluetooth 5.0 engines worked very well. Those have a much better and stronger range. So.
But keep in mind, we also had the base a little lower than what they had because their
Yep.
PDI cable didn't reach. So I feel like if it was elevated up a little bit higher, I think even the Bluetooth would probably do better. Cause
Yeah,
that
we're thinking
probably
about
fits
doing
in
that
the
too.
Yeah.
So this is Andrew McCarter, and Andrew, you're kind of new to this, and this is a chance that you had to see a club layout, a nice large layout.
Yep.
Yep, prior to that, I'd just seen our engineering layout and our test layout.
Which is kind of like upstairs.
Yep, smaller, nowhere near as many switches or different loops and routes, and obviously nowhere near as nice of a scenery.
And I saw that you were checking, what was it, Wi-Fi signals or any signals that were coming into the building?
Yeah, just any RF signal that was in the building. And, you know, I expected the change that I saw yesterday when I did that before all of our testing yesterday morning. Next to nothing, the only thing I saw was your Wi-Fi router on occasion pinging. And then today, the signal levels were much higher, but that's because we had a lot more Wi-Fi traffic, probably because you have members that are connected to your Wi-Fi, and as soon as they came to the building, they were connected.
Okay, from something like an iPhone or...
Yep. And then, of course, I was able to see the remotes, Now, I wasn't able to like identify each individual cab 2 remote, but I could see the particular frequency that we were using for channel 8, like you do.
Okay, and that's important because all these things take up radio frequency space, and there's only so much radio frequency space in the world, and we got to make sure that this base 3 is strong enough to punch through all that.
Yep, and it's something that we're cognizant of with the Base 3 itself because it has its own Wi-Fi. You can put it into access point mode, and so that way you can connect your laptop or your computer to the Base 3 directly. So as you're cycling through your different TMCC channels, the lower TMCC channels puts your Wi-Fi automatically on the high channel, but as soon as you get to high TMCC channels, we automatically put it down to a low Wi-Fi channel, so that way the two don't interfere with each other.
So that means it'll work no matter what.
Correct.
John, what did you recognize about the testing today?
I thought we did a good job of stressing the system with the number of controllers and the number of engines that we were able to run. It showed them what their limitations were, and they seemed to be about what was expected. That we could, that they could run on the new base about 10 engines or 10 controllers independently. Probably more if everybody's not, sitting on the whistle.
Well, we went out of our way to stress it all at one time. And
we were sending
that's the key.
Command strings to it continuously by holding the whistle button on, so that puts basically the highest amount of traffic on it that you can get. So.
And if we had 10 whistle willies, that would go whistle, whistle, whistle. That still wouldn't be the intensity that we had with this stress test.
Right.
Yeah, that's correct. We tested worst case scenario today.
Yeah.
And because that way, if we test and can prove out at the worst case scenario, we know that pretty much anything that a consumer would throw at it would work out.
Especially a club like the Chicagoland Lionel Railroad Club.
Yes.
And I wanted to point out that this morning you asked Dave, or you had Dave give some direction to your club members. He said if anybody has any issues to come find me, and I would try to record those issues. During all of the play testing where we weren't saying, hey, everybody do all the horns at one time, not a single person pointed out to me that they had an issue. So they were able to do everything they wanted to do with their engines all day, walking around the layout, all the normal distances you'd normally see from a legacy base that you guys were using.
Well, what's nice, we have a lot of familiarity with the Cab 2 system and the Base 2 system, and there's a lot of carryover into the Base 3 program.
Yeah, as far as a user out there and the layout running with a Cab 2 is concerned, there's no difference.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's a Base 2 or a Base 3, they're running their legacy engine with a Cab 2 remote.
I'm pretty sure if you hadn't even told them that we were using a Base 3 today, I don't think they would have noticed the difference.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Which is good.
And
that's perfect.
A lot, the nice thing that people were starting to say is the big advantage of the Base 3 is that you only need one controller instead of the legacy controller, the other legacy controller, and what have you.
Yeah, it was nice when we got into Bluetooth testing with
Or
the
not
Base
the legacy,
3.
but the Lion Chief.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
When we got into testing Bluetooth Lion Chief engines and showing some of your members, using a Cab 2 or the Cab 3 app to control one of those engines directly through the Base 3, it definitely seemed to get the gears spinning on what the capabilities were.
Yeah. And this system is expandable more than what the Base 2 is.
Right.
So there's
correct.
other features that might come
Especially with 4-digit addressing.
Yeah,
And
that's
that was
big.
that was the final test we did today. We tested two or three different 4-digit engines all at the same time, while everybody else was also running standard legacy engines, and they didn't miss a beat. So very excited about the future prospects of that protocol and what we can do. And the big hope is to eventually roll that into just the standard legacy line, so that every engine would have it.
So now, is that the legacy of the future, or can it be backdated into previous legacy engines?
Yeah, so there's no backwards dating of upgrading the electronics. So whenever we do move 4-digit addressing into the legacy electronics, that'll be anything produced at that point moving forward.
Okay.
So it's kind of like buying a car, and 10 years from now you can't really update the car, right? So at some point you can't update the electronics in the field anymore, simply because.
Well, I get computer updates on my computer all the time. I mean, it says that makes it this better and that better, and this is a computer.
But
Yeah,
you-
but
you
they don't send you hardware updates.
You don't take your carbureted engine and put fuel injection on it.
Not without major surgery.
Exactly. So.
Give me a break, just do it.
This is a guy that has not been an engineer.
Yeah, I just, what I've always found out is that I wish for something. And then I tell someone who knows what they're doing what my wish is, and they make it happen.
Oh, you would be perfect in Lionel management. That's for you, Mike.
Well, is there anything else that we want to pass on?
Now, like I said yesterday, I just want to say that Lionel really appreciates you guys having us out and working with us testing, and all the club members that showed up and ran, and for you two specifically, and Mike as well, for helping us with the technical and testing and getting it all put together.
Yeah, Michael Fradin.
Yep, you guys have been key to a successful beta test adventure.
Okay, Dave Olson, John Billone, Andrew McCarter, and Herb Koch signing off.